strong.
Let's talk about consumables. Alright? People love their berries, right? Consumables are great to have, especially when leveling, and people overlook that a lot. They're cheap, they're in a TP, and you can get stuff fitted to your level. Every food will give you experience from kills. So this will help you level up really easily. And I know the food is not that great in the beginning, but once you get to the end, they're amazing. So anything you can get in the beginning is great. As long as you get that 10 experience from kills, you can get the cheapest food. Doesn't matter what it is, just have it on you and use it. It's great. The food that I use is berry pies, and I guess you could call it the little tinker item is I use maintenance oil, which give me more precision.
Okay.
Alright, so let's see here. Right now, I went and got 25 stacks of my Sigil of Perception, so that you guys can see when I'm at 25 stacks with no other buffs and nothing else on, I have 72% chance to crit. Alright, now I'm going to apply my food and my maintenance oil, and now I'm at 81% chance to crit. Guess what happens when I put For Great Justice on, which gives me Fury for 8 seconds.
For great
Oh,
justice.
I'm at 101% crit. I cannot not crit. That's kind of great. And trust me, you'll have Fury on at all times. The most important thing about berry pies is that they have a 60% chance to steal life on critical with no cooldown. Nothing else affects it, and the damage scales directly with the amount of damage you're doing. So I can heal myself up to full by just doing a whirlwind and attacking some people. Alright, so that's the food I usually go with. You know, you could go with some berry bars if you want, but the key to this build is that food that's going to get you your health back, especially in dungeons. So it's really helpful. It's going to keep you alive, and it's going to keep you dealing a lot of damage. This is not a magic find build or a magic find setup. You know, there's another build that I have that has 120 something% magic find. It's very easy to make, and if you want, I'll make a build guide on that as well. Let's talk a little bit about variations before I show you a little bit of this build in action. That's why I'm an ore, so you can show you some easy mobs to play around with. Variations wise, sometimes you'll end up in the group that has no condition damage whatsoever, and there's a few things that you can do to up your condition damage, or at least have stacks of bleeding on there. First of all, you could change your sigils of strength to sigils of earth, and that'll get you 60% chance to bleed every 2 seconds on critical. A note on sigils of strength and why stacking them is great. Stacking sigils, they stack multiplicatively, not additively. That means is that instead of getting 60% with the axe and the mace, chance to crit on might, I'm going to get 51%. Every other shot has a chance to crit. So that's great. On variations, sometimes you'll go in a group that doesn't have any condition damage at all, and you want to get at least some bleeds out there. It's a very simple way to do that. Without changing anything in your build, just have a sword with you. Alright, you have a sword with you, switch it out for one of your axes. It doesn't matter which one. I'll switch it out for this one. Okay, that changes your burst skill to flurry. Flurry will give you 8 stacks of bleeding and a bunch of stuff. Right, so use your axe setup to gain adrenaline. Once you gain enough adrenaline, switch to your sword skill, initiate flurry, and then switch back and gain adrenaline again. And that'll give you a ton of bleeds on it. If you really want to get serious, you can change your runes and your sigils and go all out condition damage bleed, and you can still use this rotation in this setup. So let's get some action on this and see how it works. First I'm going to show you the regular, and then I'm going to show you the variation with the bleed.
I feel 6 feet tall.
Okay, every hit you're going to be critting for almost 2k. If you have some stacks of might, then you're going to be critting for more than 2k. Okay, I got my adrenaline level up to full. I wanted to show you guys something because it doesn't increase your crit chance. But in our traits, we have height focus, which we should get 9% crit for 3 stages of adrenaline. We do have it, it just doesn't show up. So right now we have 90% chance to crit. Even if we don't have Fury on, we have 90% chance to crit. Now I'm gonna head over to the veteran so we can see if we can get some damage on him going. See if we can crit for 10k, see if I can get my mic up.
For great justice! Adrenaline rising!
Again, you need to break the 15 crit percentage mark to actually get to 10k, so I might not get it, but you can see how fast these people are going down. It's kind of ridiculous.
High toxicity.
Alright, so right now I'm getting around 7k. So you saw how easy that was. I had no problems with my health because I was getting health back the whole time. Alright, now I'm gonna see if I can show you something that lives long enough for me to use the bleed spec on it. If not, I'll switch between different targets to get the bleed spec going. Alright, for bleeds, you want to start out in Axe, and because Axe gets you health back faster and it gives you adrenaline a lot faster. Let's see if we can find a guy here. Alright, now we have adrenaline full. Let's go find a guy. So basically, you're hitting the guy, your adrenaline's full, you switch, you do your burst, and you have 15 stacks of bleed on it right away. Obviously he died right away, but if he didn't, the bleeds would be on there for a while. Especially if you switch your traits up just a tiny bit. Okay? You keep Deep Strike, but you're going to change Rending Strikes and you're going to change Furious. Alright, Rending Strikes you're going to change to Deep Cuts, which lets you bleed so you apply last 50% longer. Okay, if you want to change Furious, I would change it to Blade Master, which increases your crit chance with a sword by 10%. Alright, so now crit chances with the sword by 10%. It doesn't show up there, but right now I have 92% and I have 50% on my bleeds, or my condition durations, all of them. So that's really great. You don't get as much vulnerability stack, but the vulnerability that you stack and the bleeds that you stack last 50% longer, which is a whole lot.
Feel the fury.
The only bad thing about the bleed is that it's mainly for bosses, because it doesn't really apply multiple stacks of bleed on different enemies unless you have the Sigil of Earth working with you.
Riling me up.
Okay, so if you have the Sigil of Earth, which I believe I do have it on my sword, I could probably get crap ton of stacks of bleed here. Yeah, I if the guy would have stayed alive longer, I would have gotten up to 20 bleeds really easily. Warriors are insanely fast in stacking bleed. There's no other class that can stack bleed so fast unless it's maybe a rogue with a short bow with their quickness going and they're behind the target. So that's a lot of thing that needs to be going on. You can just hit people. You can stack multiple bleeds on multiple targets just by having Sigil of Earth and using your sword. So that's a lot of bleeds. It's really simple to switch back and forth between them, and it's recommended that you use whatever you need depending on the situation. So if you guys have any questions, if I left anything out, please let me know. I would love to fix anything that I can
Quite a reward.
on the guide or answer any questions you guys might have. Thank you so much. This is Iggy Dash. Follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Facebook, you know, send me messages, whatever you guys need. I'm here for you guys, and I'm always down to make corrections, theory craft with you guys, and see if we can help each other become much better players. Thanks a lot. Have a great day.